What is up, y'all? You know what time it is. We are back in the All Artists studio for another exciting episode of the All Artists series. And today, we have the pleasure of welcoming a Mississippi native who discovered his passion for music at a young age, influenced by his mother, his artist mother, and father, and godfathers who introduced him to a wide range of records. Music became an outlet for him during his mother's battle with breast cancer, and he started performing in high school and community talent shows, building buzz around his name. In 2016, he re-released his EP 420 on all platforms, gaining attention across the South. His mixtape, Off Top, further expanded his reach in Chicago, Los Angeles, and New York in 2019. Despite the challenges posed by COVID-19, he released 420 Sessions 2 and followed up with the hip-hop and R&B infused EP, Lone Lover, in 2021. DevMaccc has continued to impress his fan base with subsequent releases, including 420 Sessions 3, Still Alone, featuring Ill Phil and Akeem Ali. Co-hosts and listeners around the globe, please welcome DevMaccc.
Shout out to the Crooked Letter.
No,
That's home. So
Big
this is gonna
Sim,
be
big
this gonna
Sim.
be real country today for our
Yeah.
listeners. We keeping it real catfish fried country
You
today.
feel me? Most
But
definitely.
man, Dev, really happy to hear you. Really happy to see you. Welcome to the All Artist
Same.
Studio.
Introducing you to new followers. Our reach is global, and the whole objective of this is to expand your reach as well. So, introducing you to new followers and new fans. How would you describe your music and your music journey to where you are right now?
Um, Honestly, if I had to pick one word, I would just say relatable. I try to. I don't know. I love being from Mississippi, man. A lot of people don't pay attention to what Mississippi is, which is the birthplace of America's music. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm.
it's a lot of sounds and vibes. I guess that's what we call it nowadays, the vibes. But it's a lot of vibes and stuff that um, us as artists feel. And I try to just compress all of it into one because, like I said, being from Mississippi, man, like a lot of people we don't know about a lot of the artists that West Coast people know about or East Coast people know about and all that type of stuff. So I just try to create some relatable jamming music, the type of stuff that I want to hear, the type of stuff that I like to hear, the type of stuff that I'm influenced by, you know what I mean? Like a whole bunch of greats that I'm influenced by. So I just try to compact it all into one and make it something crazy for people to be like, wow, this is coming from somebody from Mississippi. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but who would you say you are beyond music? Like, what do you like to do outside of music? Is music all like?
I'm a
What else do you
huge,
like to
I'm a big family person. I'm real big on family. God fearing man before anything else.
do? Mm-hmm.
Um, man, honestly, I'm so big on music. Sometimes, like, I be feeling like I'm bored because, like, if I'm not doing music, I'm working. You know what I'm saying? My nine to
Mm.
five. But the only reason I'm doing that is just, the fun the gig and the fun everything I got
Right.
going on.
Got
But
to.
aside
Literally
Gotta put
funded.
fuel in the jet.
nah,
Gotta
you
put
feel
fuel
me?
in the jet.
Like, aside from that though, man, I love hanging out with my friends and family. I love fashion. I love animals. I love my dogs. I have like 4 dogs.
Oh,
So
nice.
like, yeah. I like just vibes and chilling, man. I'm not one of those my friends or I'm not gonna say friends, but just like classmates and stuff. I always talk about how I'm gonna get like rich and like the diamond chains and the cars and I
You
like I
close.
don't be. I mean, you feel me?
You feel me?
I'm getting there, but like as far as like clubbing and it's like doing all that, like I'm straight on that, bro. I'm really good on that. I just be focused on what the goal is and taking care of my people for real.
I would be
Nah, man.
remiss for the followers and for the fans to not ask about your dogs. Name the dogs. What type of dogs?
All right, so I'm gonna say the newest addition to the family is my boy Butter. He just
Okay,
turned
brother.
1. He's a American Staffordshire. I think that's how I pronounce it, Staffordshire, something like that.
Hmm.
But yeah, he was a rescue animal from my homegirl Janae. Shout out Janae. They were on some like how people are with like terriers and pit bulls, man. And in
Hmm.
Mississippi, it's like a no go zone for real, for real. So that was the rescue animal. That's my little homie. Um, my OG, I'm gonna go all the way to the back. My OG Jake, I've had him since I was in 8th grade.
Ooh.
Yeah, so he the OG of the family. He's really a mutt for real. He's like Hound and Pit and something else and something else. But he the OG, so I let everybody know that whenever they come to the crib. Maxo, that's the second honcho in charge. He
Maxo
is
think he all that.
not.
Yeah.
It's funny, right? But no, I want to say Maxo is a Gotti Pit mixed with a lab, if I'm not mistaken. And then I have Two Tone, which is Maxo's son, and he is Gotti Pit lab mixed with, what was his mama? I want to say a boxer and Pit.
Oh dang.
So yeah, that's the crew though. That's the crew. And I know a lot of people be like, "Damn, why you got so many dogs?" Like, you gotta understand, I'm from the country, bro. Like I stay on a pasture. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm in the sticks. And my mom passed away from cancer or whatever in 2021. So like, and she was real big on dogs. And I kind of just feel like I'm not about to like be on some crazy stuff. Like I'm just about to fill my house up with a whole bunch of animals and stuff. But like they really have life in like a crazy, like this crazy type of energy, bro. Like they sometimes dogs are, I see why people say like dog is like a man's best friend for real. Cause like I'll be coming in from work, bro, and just be seeing my dogs and they just lift my spirit up, bro. So I just be trying to,
that's what I be
with my dogs.
I be trying to tell him that, man. Like I got a dog a year and a half ago. His name's Gojo. It's short for Goliath Joel. And he's a Great Dane and Mastiff. Yes, you know, black folks got to have a middle name for their dog.
That's hard though. Great Dane and Mastiff is that's crazy.
I would let him in the room right now, but he know I'm recording, so he's sitting in the living room. But he's a second gen Dan. If both his parents were Great Dane and Mastiff mixes. My best friend owns his dad, and previously owned his mom before he got her fixed, and gave her to his neighbor. And like man, he is currently a year and a half and is 150 pounds. He gonna end up being like maybe 210, and like his dad's 6'3" right now, 190, and he's 3 years old. I think that's where he's gonna top out, but he could be bigger because he's bigger than his dad right now at a year and a half, like, which is crazy. But I mean, super smart dog, super good dog, man. Like, and you're right, I work in my real life, I work in politics. And one thing I do love is like, man, when I wake up in the morning, that motherfucker don't care about no politics. He don't care about what I'm watching on the news.
Real,
he don't care about what like he listen to music with me, which I think is like really dope. Like I'll be sitting there like listening to music or watching anime, and he'll like look at the TV and be like, yo, is it like, or if he'll see a dog on TV, he's like, yo, that's all I care about. Like, or I'm trying to like run around and go do something like. And I think it's really cool, like the way that they understand and feel. Like if he sees I'm down, like he's like, yo, what you doing? Like, come put his big ass body on me or something like that. Like,
yeah, it's different, bro. It's different.
They know, like they
really,
know when
they really be talking to us for real. Like they really be talking.
Listen, because they know. No, it's not that they be talking to us.
We don't have pets. Me and Jamal.
They know we be talking.
We let y'all ride.
Dev is gonna understand this. Listen, Dev is gonna understand this completely because he is a black pet parent. But them motherfuckers know what we be saying to them.
Yo,
literally,
like, bro.
Don't do not, like, if I told you to sit on the couch and then you get off the couch when I walk out the room and then I walk back in and your ass run back to the couch, I said sit on the couch, dog.
And see, bro, at first I'm gonna keep it a bean, like no shade, but I thought that was a white people thing at one point. Like, I didn't like how I saw white people act with dogs and how I saw black people act with dogs was two totally different type of things going on. But like once I actually had a dog that stayed in the house, because my mama was not with that house dog shit, she was not going.
Right.
But once I got into tune with that, like, nah, bro, you be listening, like you know what I'm saying, and because I'm sitting here, I'm like, you want to go outside?
Yo, like,
what he do?
Like, right now, calm down, like getting bass in the voice. I don't like that. You feel me? But yeah,
chill out.
Dogs are crazy.
Yeah, like my friends, like, they think it's so weird. Like I had my homies come over and they were like, can he do tricks? And I said, yeah. And I'm like, so they kept saying shake and he wouldn't shake. And I'm like, you can't say shake, man. We don't say that. We don't say white people commands. And they were like, well, what does he say? I said, so to shake with the right is on the gang. to Shake with the Left is on the set. Down is, on the Dead Homies.
That's crazy.
But I started when he was a puppy, and like he literally will not eat without doing them 3 tricks in a row.
No, that's hard. That's
like
hard.
But like, so like when I say on the gang, it feel like, I'm dapping up my mans. You know what I'm saying?
And finna break bread too. Yeah,
we finna break bread. You know what I'm saying?
Nah,
Like I was trying to get him out of pray, but like he can't sit up that long and like hold his hands up because his head's so big. Like he has a head the size of a human, so it's like kind of hard for him to like.
Oh God, he did.
What's that comedian say?
Praying though, I ain't gonna lie. I might get my dog to try to pray over his food because that's kind of. Oh, that's dope.
Y'all take it somewhere.
Yeah. But them dogs don't even know what's coming to them.
I definitely, I'll pass you all some stuff I've been working on. I got you. But from one Mississippi dude to another, like obviously, like I can hear all of the Southern roots and definitely Mississippi heritage, like in your music, like. You grew up on artists with Big Crit and David Banner like myself, but also like listening to your music. I also heard like sounds of like trying to think, dude, from like I think I heard like twins of like Mick Jenkins in there as well. I told you I'd be listening, man. I'd be listening.
You know some.
Yeah, I'd be listening. Yeah, I was like, because I was listening to the album today. I was listening to for 20 Sessions 3, and I was listening to Comfortable. I kept running it back, and I was like, man, this sounds like Mick almost a little bit. And so like I hear the influences and stuff in your music, but particularly about the Southern artists, because as you said, like Mississippi made you, and I'm a person who always stand 10 toes down on the cricket letter. Like, how does your upbringing and cultural background influence the sound and the stories that you tell through your music? Because I always feel like that's really impactful.
Honestly, man, I feel like it impacts it more than anything, just based off of the dual fact of not a lot of people care to hear the story from Mississippi.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? One thing that I talk about, shout out to Big Crit before I go any further. One thing I talk about with some of my friends and even just like coworkers or just people who talk about Mississippi artists in general, they talk about how like Crit kind of put himself in a box with his sound, you know what I'm saying? With like having like the country cousin Southern, 12 in the back type sound. And I love what Crit did. And I'm gonna tie all this about me because it's not about Crit, but like I love what Crit did because he was really just trying to put his roots in front of everything. Like,
right,
this is me, you know what I'm saying? This is us. This is Mississippi. This is what is to be expected. But I'll say he was an example of why I had to find those different ways, like, just find a way to be relatable through music all the way through, because I saw how I see how his career is. Personally, I feel like Crit should be all the way up there with everybody else.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? But being realistic, being a consumer, and just seeing how the game goes, I know that's not how it's gonna go. And if it does, it's gonna be it's just a shot in the dark that it happens for real. And it's not because his music isn't good. It's just because he put himself in this Southern Mississippi country,
and he was unapologetic about it as well.
Unapologetic as hell, which I rock with it. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I just try to find the ways to allow the stories that I've heard about Mississippi, the stories that I hear about other Mississippians, the stories that I hear from people who travel into Mississippi. I take all of that type of stuff, man, from the collard greens to the catfish in the ponds, from the 12s in the speakers to the wood grain, from the mom and pop stores around the block to the fruit stands and the watermelon cats who be sitting on the side of the highways. You know what I mean? I try to just put all of that, in a sense, I guess you could just say, I try to paint all of that in the biggest picture just so that everyone can get it. Because I feel like when you paint it in this Mississippi box, only Mississippi people gonna get it, or maybe like the surrounding states. But I just try to think about everything and just I try to just pull everyone towards. I don't know. I guess I try to like match a sound that people like, but with the content of where I'm from, so that it's easier for them to be like, oh damn, this is Mississippi. And it wasn't, the Southern hip hop shit to where they like, I don't Like so.
Yeah,
Hope,
like
maybe that answered the question. I'm hoping I did.
nah,
I
that
be a
does
rambler
like
sometimes.
because like I was one of those people early on, like even though I love Crit because being from the SIP, but I was just always like, man, he's painting himself in such a box. And at the time, he was signed to Def Jam, and I remember when they came out with Country Shit with Luda and
Yeah.
Bun B, and like how big how big I wanted that record to be. But I just like I could tell regionally where I was, where I was getting like I grew up. I was raised in Mississippi until I was 9, but then I moved to Mobile on the coast when I was 10. And like I knew people who listened to Crit, you know what I'm saying, in college. And when I was in the military, it's like really when I got exposed to like so many different sounds because I was, so many people from so many different places and we were exchanging music. And back in '09, like Crit was everything. You had Crit, you had Drake, you had, all these different dudes that were popping up. You had Cuddy popping up and like all these different folks. And like people could get with certain sounds, but I'm like, man, why y'all letting, this country draw like be a limit to y'all? But like when he went independent, one thing I loved was he never stopped doing that because he was like, yo, I'm telling the story of my people because Mississippi is such a, like I always say, Mississippi is, if you really want to know what America looks like, you go to Mississippi. And I haven't met a single person that's from Mississippi that doesn't agree with me when I say that, because you see the richest of the rich and you see the poorest of the poor and you see the realest of the real, because those black folks that are there, they built that place, from out in Mississippi Delta, out to the ponds, out to the Mississippi River, all the way down to Biloxi. It's black as hell every single time. And like the picture that people have is that, they think about the Confederacy, they think about all these other things, but like, they're like, no, man, I grew up in the Berg with Greg Street, my uncle, before he was at, V103 and in Atlanta. He was right there at the record shop right around at JJ's Records right around the corner off MLK. You know what I'm saying? Like that's where we went and bought all our CDs. That's where we bought all our vinyl records. Like music was always a part of my family because my granddaddy told me, he's like, American music is from right here. I was so happy when you said that earlier. Like this is like, he always tell me, he's like, anything that you hear that comes from America came right here from Mississippi. And he always told me, don't you ever forget that, no matter where you go. Like, don't let anybody tell you not to be proud about where you're from. So like, I tip my hat to you. Like, I know we give him flowers, but I tip my hat to you because for a Mississippi artist to be unapologetically Mississippi, even as they evolve their music, they don't forget about where they come from in that music, and they're still telling that story to make that relevant. So I absolutely get what you're saying. I do got one more question before we do go to Jay. What's your favorite Big Crit song?
I'm not gonna lie, bro. All right, so this might be a little commercial, but Mount Olympus was crazy to me.
I love Mount Olympus.
Like, and I would say that it might be something from what's that project? Is it Better This Way?
Better This Way.
Yeah, like I want to say the actual track called Better This Way from that project. I would say that might be my favorite. But on the commercial tip, Mount Olympus, he put his foot off, and he was
the only person that responded to Kendrick, and
he had to talk that shit.
Yeah, he had to remind people where he was from.
Money, man. I said okay.
For me, it's actually Bury Me in Gold. Like I feel like Bury Me in Gold encapsulates who Crit is. Like when I hear Bury Me in Gold, I think about my grandma. Like I was raised by my grandmother, like Big Crit was raised by his grandma. And in the same way that he was exposed to music by his grandmother, I was exposed to music with my grandmother by growing up in the church and her singing in the choir. And so when he, all I ever wanted was a gold chain, like a twinkle because it gold, man. Like when I hear that, I think about my grandmother, like being the candy lady and selling freeze cups and frozen pickles and candy to kids on the neighborhood. And I'm like, this is as Mississippi as it gets. I played that one time for my auntie, and she started crying, and she was like, who is this? And I'm like, he's from where we from. And she was like, how does this sound like I'm back at home? And she was in her 60s when she heard that, you know what I'm saying? Bro. And so like, that's why I say like Mississippi artists are really special to me. So I was really super excited for this interview, man. Like, thanks for that answer.
I appreciate it, man. For real. This is crazy.
So
love that.
So your newest release, SAR, which also, I said that correctly, SAR, not phonetic. Okay, great. SAR also features Gelato Rich, so it's evident there's growth, there's evolution in your music. But talk about collaborating with Gelato. How was that? What was that like?
It's man, that's like another day in the studio. That's my brother. Gelato engineered my track No More. He's engineered a lot of other tracks, produced a couple other tracks. but it was definitely fun, man. That was one track that I was very stern on getting Rich to say like, okay, bro, say that it's me in the song. Like he's so like mysterious and like, nah, bro, I want it to be about the music, bro. I don't even want people to know I'm in it. I'm like, bro, if you don't get your like, come on, man, like, come on, man, like, so, but yeah, it was cool, and I think the coolest thing about it was just the fact that I could finally put out a song with my brother that I have a lot of faith in, and he has the same amount of faith, if not more, in me. So yeah, I think that was the coolest part. But I'm excited for that song. It's still growing. I feel like every day you have an opportunity to make a fan. So like, regardless of what a stream might look like today or next week, music is still new to somebody. You just gotta keep pushing it. You know what I mean? So,
Absolutely.
It's a good
that was an
song.
amazing
It's a really
track,
good
though.
song.
It is a good
Yeah.
song.
I
Y'all don't
appreciate it.
swell like off of each other. You got anything else together in the chamber, if you can say?
We do. It's unreleased,
Of course.
but I guarantee you, when that joint come out, y'all gonna lose y'all top. I swear, it's crazy.
I'm gonna have to go find it then.
Right.
No, I might have to send y'all a little unreleased private link or whatever.
Please,
You can do that.
So
You can do that.
Yeah.
like we be telling them like, yo, we not gonna tell nobody.
We
And
not.
we didn't have to ask.
We
We didn't have
not.
to ask
Yeah.
this time.
You know.
No, but so I definitely do that for y'all. I got you.
Okay.
I got you.
Appreciate that. Appreciate that.
Heck yeah.
Okay. So in No More, though, you share your journey about battling depression and finding a way to overcome it. How important is it for you to kind of address that in your music about emotional wellness and, mental health?
I feel like aside from it being important to me, I just think it's a huge thing right now. For the past like year or two, I guess you could say, I feel like it's been a huge topic, a topic that's needs to been a topic for years, honestly. But yeah, I feel like that was one of the first songs that I always feel like I get personal and like in my diary type vibe or whatever whenever I be writing my music. But this was one that I feel like I was addressing some things that I hadn't addressed with myself, some things that I have or have not addressed with a couple of friends. And I think I just needed like I told one of my best friends, the one I was talking about with, my best friend just had the biggest pops. Like, I told him, I was like, I honestly feel like I just needed to do that song for myself. And I mean, I always create music for myself because it's my work. I want people to like it, but it's not about people. You know what I mean? Like, this is my diary. This is my art. This is my work. So I want to make sure I'm expressing myself. But this time, particularly, I really wanted to make sure that, like, Dev, like, you need to motivate yourself real quick, bro, because it seems like you're like getting lost in like feeling these ways where you need to remind yourself that like, bro, just don't take that shit no more, bro. If you're not pleased with it, you know what I'm saying? Friendships, relationships, jobs, positions that you're faced with or whatever. Like, if it's not up there with you, then like just don't accept it. And that's just with anything. So No More is a very special track, and the fact that it did so well and got me into the positions to be in contact with labels and just certain people and stuff like that, like, it's just an honor, man. It's a blessing, and it just shows me like how like just being 100% authentically yourself and talking about your story can just it can move some things, man. So
it can move the needle for real.
Hats off to Rainy Days as well. That's my boy in Jersey. He produced that. Crazy
Yeah, man,
work.
I love the beat on that, dog.
Yeah, crazy work. He went crazy. It's wild.
So you just kicked off the tour, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you're on the Out the Den tour on the 24th. Like, have you wrapped your head just around being on tour? Like, because I know, like, for a lot of folks, like with the pandemic and everything, like a lot of people were inside. They didn't get a chance to like even tour a lot of the music that they made. And like now people are like slowly, now we're kind of back into real groove of things where people are like outside and like
very much outside.
And, tours are, back to their normal schedule. But like, how are you now, kind of wrapping your mind around like, damn, I'm going on tour. Like, I know that tour life is crazy. You constantly on the road. Like, I know, like, go into a city and like seeing people lined up outside, and you like, damn, you coming to see me, nigga?
Gotta
Like,
be surreal.
that's
Got
gotta
to
be
be.
surreal.
It's crazy, bro, because this is my first and it's not like it's even a headlining tour. It's kind of just, you know, like a pop-up tour, you know, just hitting a couple of cities. But it's wild because one, this is my first tour out of the 7 or 8 years I've been doing music. Like, you know, I always got scared to go on tour, not even because I was scared to do a show, but I think on the financial end, like I was thinking of like, bro, I'm not gonna be able to take care of this. I'm not gonna be able to get this done. Then I'm thinking about my bills. My mom's sick. My little brother at the crib. So like, I honestly, now, like, and let me just say this, like my first show of the tour was just the other day, or actually Sunday night, because it got changed from Saturday to Sunday. I opened up for Westside Boogie.
Oh
Like,
shit!
Wow, okay.
No,
That's one of Jay's faves.
I do love some Westside. Okay.
Hear me, like the nigga called me. Hear me. Performing Westside. That nigga called me up on stage like, "You nigga, you hard as fuck. Come here."
No, he didn't.
That sound like him too.
Oh wow.
He come up here, bro. He pulled me up, bro. He just giving me my flowers and shit, bro. And the shit was just, it was unreal, bro. It was really unreal, like for real. So like, tour is already. It's, to answer your question, wrapping my head around it. Still ain't did it yet. Trying to, you feel me? Because like to start,
you just in the moment
like that. I was like, yo, what the fuck? Like, what's going on, bro? Like this crazy. So. It's beautiful though, man. Just to see people, like you said, like seeing people wait outside and just be ready for you to share your, you know, parts of your life with them is the wildest thing to me. And that's all I really ever cared about. You know what I'm saying? Like, of course I want some bread. Like, yeah, I want some money. Cool.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
like,
I know that tour. Listen, that tour money. I know it change.
Yeah, I'm trying. That's what I'm trying to get to. I'm trying to get that to that tour money for real, for real. But like, nah, it's just it's different, man. It's different from putting music out there and seeing a lot of people say, "Hey, I really love your music," to going to different cities and seeing people be like, "Oh my God, you're DevMaccc," and stuff like that. Because me, I'm such a, and I think it's the Mississippi in me, bro. Like people always tell me I'm too humble. I don't really give a damn. Like that's just how I am. I just
nah, that's real.
You
like,
know what I'm saying? I don't walk in the room like, "Hey, I rap." Like, nah, I'm chilling. You feel me? So to walk in the room and people like be talking to you like you Goku or something, bro.
not like I can imagine like getting off the
It's
stage and like it's not just even the people who are there waiting for you to perform. It's also the people who have never seen you. So like somebody who goes to see Westside Boogie and then you catch this opening artist and you like. You from, you know, Milwaukee or Saskatchewan or some shit like that.
Yeah.
And then that one song that they do, whether it's the first one or whether it's the last one for their set is done, you like, yo, that just hit me. And then like, I can imagine like seeing them after the show, like you just, you know, going out, getting ready to leave. And then a couple of fans are still there like, yo, I just wanted to let you know, dog, that second song.
Bro. And what was crazy for me, bro, was the fact that Boogie was one of those fans for me.
But Boogie feels like that person. I always felt like he would probably be the type to show love like that. So it's really cool that you confirmed that for me.
Like, but you know, it'd be crazy too though, because like you'll have these ideas of some of these stars, and that's not what it is.
Right.
You'll be highly disappointed. So like, I didn't want to go in there with like, okay, he a cool dude, bro. He a cool dude.
Right.
And then around be Hollywood as hell. Because I was gonna be disappointed. I might have tweeted it. You feel me?
You said you might have tweeted it.
Not you might have tweeted.
That's real.
You gotta drop that on the burner.
Right.
You gotta drop that on the burner.
Yo, what the
That's
fuck
real.
is this, Boogie? Like, it was, yeah, bro. Like I remember getting off the stage, walking over to him, or walking over to my homeboy. He's like, "Hey, let's go get a picture with Boog." I go over there and tap Boog. Hey, yo, nigga, you hard, bro. You hard, bro. That Comfortable song you just did, and it was crazy when you brought up Comfortable, because I was like, nah, yeah, that's Boogie favorite joint too. But like, he was like, yo, that Comfortable joint, bro, I gotta go down like that. I gotta go download that, nigga. That's hard.
I have to really also give you a compliment on the LA accent. That is really that's a really good way.
I can hear it. I can hear it.
Right.
I forgot you was from Mississippi.
That was funny.
But
So
no,
what
that's so cool.
What other locations are you going to for the listeners that are listening?
Up next, man, July 7th, it's Atlanta. How do I not know the next one? Arkansas, Fayetteville. Was it Fayetteville,
Fayetteville,
Arkansas?
Fayetteville.
Fayette. Thank you, Jay. Hey, I want to say that might be the 24th of July, I believe.
Hmm.
But if I'm wrong, just follow me on Instagram at
Oh, I like the
DevMac.
shameless
Right,
plug. That's a
right,
that's a
right.
good subject.
Very
That's a
smooth.
good
got
Very.
very smooth.
That is
Thank you,
very
thank you.
good. I did want to backtrack into some of your other projects and really get a vision behind the 420 EPs. Like, what
Okay.
was that? What's that about? Like, just break that down for us.
I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. 420 was literally just about some good music to ride around and smoke to.
Good.
Nothing more. Like a lot of people were trying to figure out if it was like this like special concept. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
nah, 420, enjoy. Like, I just wanted to have some groovy music, different sounds, of course. Like I didn't want everything to I didn't want people to think I was trying to be on like some currency stuff and just be like having
Mm.
like this, just like
Smokers music.
smokers music. But I just wanted some vibey music, whether it was R&B vibes or top down vibes or whatever. Just like some music you can roll up and smoke to, whether you
Yeah.
with your lady or your boys or you with your
Yeah.
girls. Like
We
just go
always
smoke,
appreciate
chill
that
out.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad I got some clarity on that. Just 'cause I was like, hold on, what's going on here? But
What
let's
you
switch.
think it was about? Let me
No,
ask
I
you
knew
that.
it was about smoking, but I wanted to see if there was a double tap in to be like, okay,
For
what
sure.
was that next part? Like, is it like a special date around 420? Is it more of a celebration
Yeah.
for you than for that you so?
Just for
Um,
all the stoners. Like
yeah, yeah, and I
it's
get
a
it.
celebration for all
I
the
listen to
stoners.
it. That's why I was like, I rap with it. So,
Yeah.
um, all right, but talking about your experience as an independent artist, like the business side, you've been releasing music over the last couple of years. You've been
Yeah.
um, touring now, popping up in different cities. You like to, I think I was reading some article that you also like to help people write, and also like songwriting. But when it comes to your ecosystem, what would you say has contributed to your ascension the most?
Uh, honestly, I'm gonna say my village. To be honest, bro, just the people that I'm around, my friends, family, stuff like that. Um, that's just really what be like helping me move forward for real, and my team more than anything. Wolfpack, I see it on the hat.
Yeah, I see
You
that.
feel
I
me?
see
The
that. Put
whole
them on.
team, like, just the whole squad. Just having a team that's supportive and stuff like that, I think is like the biggest thing for me, moving forward, especially with this business. Like, I'm maybe you can do it solo dolo. Hats off to you.
Right.
I can't. You know what I'm saying? So like, it's very vital to have a team. I just feel like it's, and again, I'm very family oriented. So anything that I do is gonna probably more than likely be family oriented. So
Yeah.
Wolfpack is family, friends that support me, and yeah, I just try to stay around that support group, bro, and finding those I guess finding those pieces out of my loved ones for like that puzzle that I'm trying to fill, man. Cause like I might not be the best with financing, but my cousin went to school for financing. She's great at this. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like my
The
homeboy
LeBron
does
effect, man.
photography. No, literally, like I just I used to always talk to my mom about like wanting more and wanting more and wanting more.
Mm.
And I had to realize that like you're not going to one appreciate more and you aren't going to really need more until you utilize what you have.
Mm.
So on top of that, of just utilizing one, being thankful for what you already have, because a lot of times when we sit here and we say, I need this, I need this, I need this, we haven't even did to the full capacity of whatever this is over here that we already had. So
Yeah.
it's very ungrateful in a sense, because like we could have got it done, we were just too big looking over here when we just had to put a couple more things together over here and could have got the same thing done. So just having those pieces, man, to help me follow throughout the path is like the biggest thing I'd say.
Yeah. Talk about the Wolfpack. Like, how did you come up with the name? Like, is there? Listen,
Yeah.
you got dogs, so I know that you're the leader in some way.
Literally.
Right.
What's the figurative meaning?
So
Yes.
it's kind of funny. So I was, of course, I was rapping and stuff in high school. Um, in high school, I kind of steered away from music. I kind of got scared on some Illuminati. Scared the hell out of me. Let
It
me
got
just-
you. Ooh, Illuminati. Okay,
It wouldn't have
let's get
got.
into that.
I want to
Okay.
make sure I'm in the mic. It wouldn't have got you.
No, it did. Did you? I
I
was
mean-
in the church at that time. Like,
Listen, I will say this.
at that time, but like I'm still in church. But like they was preaching that at the church. Like we had. I
Hard.
vividly remember.
Hard.
Like I was singing lyrics, and they was like, "You cannot say that on the." Like
Dog,
it was.
I had a
choir practice, and I'm just singing a Nicki Minaj lyric, Dungeons, or something like that. I remember to this day. So,
I still remember when the Black album dropped and
Rihanna
and Jay-Z
around that time.
Jay-Z did the Jehovah song, and it wasn't just my pastor. My youth pastor did a whole Bible study series for like 3 Wednesdays. And Dev, I grew up with one of them aunties that went to Bible study 52 weeks out of the year. I had perfect attendance at Bible study, and I didn't even think that was possible.
Vacation Bible school too, huh?
Vacation
For a very
Bible
short
school.
period of time. Vacation Bible. Look, because I worked at the summer camp, and guess what was a requirement? Had to go to vacation Bible school.
See you in there, champ. Yeah.
Yeah, see you in there every week.
Yeah.
Look, and so I remember like
Oh,
listening to the Black album, and people would be like, "Man, you can't listen to that. You know, Jay-Z part of that Illuminati and stuff." Like, and I was, oh my god, I was so happy when some of my friends broke from them shackles. We was in college. I was like, "Man, you know you was on that shit." Like, no, man, I wasn't. I'm like, dog,
Got it in
I
there.
remember.
Real life, bro. Me and my friend, we used to go down rabbit holes after getting out of school, like just going to YouTube and just
That was the
trying to
dark days of the
figure it out.
YouTube rabbit hole.
No,
Ooh.
and that's what it was. See, here go that rain. Y'all hear that weather? That's
Yeah.
crazy. But nah, like we used to go like digging deep, just trying to figure out like what is this? Like what what's going on? And nah, bro, I would never forget some of those videos. That stuff scarred me. And I was like, yeah, bro, I'll put the mic down. I think I'm gonna hop into fashion. Nah, for
Whole
real,
time
but-
they was.
That's
They really the
hilarious.
ones.
My boy, almost
like
you almost
talking to
pivot out
fashion.
your career, dog. You were like, you know
Bro.
what? This ain't for me.
Yeah, Illuminati scared. It really scared the hell out of me, bro.
Where did the Illuminati go, dog? Like,
I think-
is it a different form? Are we missing it? Are they hiding in plain sight?
I think what's also really interesting is like there's always been a version of it over the decades of
Yes.
music. Like when Ray Charles mixed turned like the gospel sound into
Mhm.
secular music,
Yeah.
there were people literally like, yo, you're a heretic. When rock and roll music first came out, it wasn't just the devil's music because Elvis Presley was making it. It was the devil's music because that came from black folk. You know what I'm saying? Like blues music was seen as the devil's music originally in Mississippi by, white supremacists and stuff. They're like, we're not listening to this because black folks make it, so we just gonna put the devil on it. But really, it was the closest thing to God that you could ever make back then. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, as the generations have happened, like, as older, like, it's always the previous generation and another saying, like, I don't like that rock and roll, and then it's I don't like that disco, and then it's I don't like that hip hop, or I don't like that pop music. So it just continues to evolve itself over time. And I remember when I watched Ray, that's when it kind of clicked. I'm like, oh, the Illuminati always been here. Y'all just gave it a different name back in the G when he was playing on that piano, and now it's something else. And I think that also helped me get out of it as well. I was like, oh, y'all just been running this game for a while because y'all don't want us to not be in church. That's what it
It's
is.
just
Right.
like, I feel like the Illuminati is just like the police, bro. They used to call it slave patrol back then. Now they call it police. Whatever y'all want to say, I know where that star came from. So like,
Hey.
you know, we ain't gonna get too political.
Yeah,
in
okay,
here. We ain't
because
gonna get-
the dark video is gonna come out of you to see what you been looking
Them-
listening to.
Bro, them hoteps about to open their third eye on Twitter, dog.
Like, yo, that boy DevMaccc actually.
Like, let me call Umar real quick.
Right. It's
Shout
gonna
out
be a
Dr. Umar, bro.
specific-
Not a shout out. Not a shout out.
You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious? It's always the repeating the same line over and over for me that gets me every time.
that boy crazy.
But you was talking about high school and Wolfpack.
Oh yeah, okay. Thank you, Jazz. Thank you.
Jay, don't forget.
Don't.
Nah, she don't look, because I was like, we all the way on Louis.
Y'all was.
He said reel it back in.
Nah, thank you, Jazz. But yeah, so long story short, I had these long ass sideburns, like coming down to here. Couldn't grow the beard, you feel me? It was just
a loophole is what you said.
Yeah. No, but like, so bam, all the way down here. And on top of that, I was just very like, I was a lone wolf, like for real. I didn't really follow no trends and stuff like that. So me rapping in high school, or people knowing that I rapped in high school, thinking I'm gonna be a big star when I got older, it was just like, bro, I don't know, bro. You just give me these wolf vibes, bro. Like, especially with the sideburns. And he's a white kid.
These fucking.
I was about to say
these accents are.
You need to get into acting a little later.
I'm about to say, voice acting might be your bag, G. Voice acting might be your bag. As soon as the writers strike over, hit them up, hit them up.
Right,
don't cross the picket.
Writers out, man. Freedom writers.
Freedom writers till it's backwards.
Freedom writers.
So yeah, they were saying wolf vibes, woody woo. Fast forward, I ended up going to college at Hines Community College in Raymond, and I met a supportive group of friends. They still my brothers to this day. Shout out Jalen, shout out Big Bro and stuff. But yeah, like they was just like, bro, like man, you're dope, bro. Like you should really get into it. And I was just like, you know what, bro? I rock with it, and they talked to me and getting into music more, and I got serious with it. And I started thinking to myself, I'm like, I was a lone wolf, but now I feel like I got a family. I got people supporting me, and Wolfpack, and it's just been going ever since.
Well, that does conclude the interview portion. It is time for that infamous game. Very simple rules. You got 45 seconds on the clock. See how many of these questions you can get through. No pressure.
Top score?
What is
10.
the top score? 10.
Say less. Let's go.
Okay.
All right, let me get the clock.
Let me put my head backwards. Hold up.
You said I gotta get serious. I thought you were gonna say put it to the side like T.I., but backwards is fine.
Bam. All right.
You can't put the headphones on and take silent. 45 seconds, and hold on, let me wipe off my screen daily. Let's go.
Okay. Are you superstitious?
Yes.
Who are your biggest musical influences?
Dang, Drake. We're gonna start right there, Drake.
What is your favorite color?
Purple.
Would you rather be able to fly or breathe underwater?
Fly.
What's your favorite song that you've written so far?
No, meal prepping.
Are you a design sketcher or visionary?
Visionary.
Finish the sentence. I can't leave home without.
My watch.
Do you prefer performing live or being in the recording studio?
Both.
Name an item you can't live without.
Shoes.
It's time.
Close.
That's 9.
That's 9. Dog. Ooh.
Close, but
on the Drake.
no cigar.
Yes.
Ooh.
Ooh. You was
That's
there.
what I can think of. I'm so sorry to everybody else. That's crazy.
I'm so sorry to everybody else. Yo, you have gotten the best sayings, taglines in this whole interview.
I know we're done with the game, but let me just also add in there. If it wasn't for Lil Bow Wow, I would have never picked up the mic. So shout out Shad Moss regardless.
I was gonna say Mr. 106 is an icon. Like you can say what you want about him. You know what I'm saying? Has he become, did he age gracefully in hip hop? I don't know, but in the 50 years anniversary of hip hop, that early 2000 time, you gotta put homie in there. Like
he had on a Dog Pound chain, bro. He was with Death Row.
He was with Snoop and them. You know what I'm saying?
He was with, they had the Death Row.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
Who else did it?
Dog,
Nobody.
he had number
Who else
he
did
had
it?
number one he had
Nobody.
number one Billboard hits at like 14, 15 years old, dog. Like I don't think people even realize he's so like,
maybe not number one to 8 or 9. That might be a little extreme.
like selling and
Close enough.
but close enough. Like to
Right.
think about how many records, like, because I think people always kind of forget that, and maybe I'm showing my age too as well sometimes, because we talk about selling records versus streaming on the show all the time, and we're like, dog, about 300 to 500,000 people in 1 week went to go buy a 13-year-old's album, rap album.
Right.
Like they
Physically.
asked their mama. A whole bunch of little preteen girls said, "Mama, take me to CD Warehouse, take me to Best Buy, because I need to buy the best. I need to buy the Bow Wow album."
No, literally.
And he was like Mike too. Like he was.
Oh
in the
my god!
movies.
Like Mike is the movie.
He was in like
I'll
Mike.
rap the
Like,
soundtrack right now.
okay.
You got the soundtrack.
Go for it. Go for it.
Oh my god.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Ball. Right.
A classic, bro.
A classic. And I will say that this has been a classic episode, dog. It has been a pleasure to get to know you. It's been a pleasure to interview you. We are so excited for your future. So excited for all the fans to get to meet you on your tour. But before we get out of here, tell the listeners where they can find you, how they can plug in with you, and if there's any new music coming out.
So I'm gonna answer that last one.
I knew you was. Thank you.
Got a lot coming for y'all, so y'all just stay tuned. Follow me on the gram, Snapchat, Twitter, all the Facebook, all that stuff. DevMaccc, DVMA3Cs. 3C's stand for Cool, Calm, and Collected.
I was just about to ask that. Damn.
Yeah,
Okay. Cool.
Cool, Calm, and Collected. And yeah, Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, wherever y'all listen to music at, it's on there. So just be on the wait, because we got some stuff coming for sure.
Well, we definitely gonna be tapped in and reposting you, keeping you in our ecosystem.
Sure,
So
I appreciate y'all.
Bye, y'all.
For sure.
We'll see y'all later, man.